Let's lower the music a little. Hello everyone, how are you? Hope you are all having a good day. How are you? Can you hear me well? And how is the music? So I'm going to set up the chat. I hope you are all are staying hydrated. Cheers. Tahsin, Amiljar, Robert, how are you guys? Thank you for confirming. I hope you are having a good day. Amiljar, buddy, it's good to see you. How's your day, Amiljar? And how is your progress going with your project and solving Lumen problems? Is it going well? So, I think the music is still loud. Let's just lower it like this. I think this monitor would look so much better here because the camera is here. So if I bring this monitor later and put it here, so I work like this and I look this way, it's way much better than looking all over this. Yeah, that's homework for weekend. Badal, how are you, Badal? How's it going, guys? How is your week so far? Tahsin, how have you been? What projects are you working on? Is it going good? Is it going little good? Is it going great? And what time is it where you at? So here it's 6:40 p.m. What about you? Amiljar, yes, I'm evolving well, I think now and studying more and more. Hell yeah, my man. Always learning. That's the thing with Lumen and Unreal and honestly everything we're doing is just the more you keep doing of it. So it's 2 p.m. for Amiljar, 11:30 for Robert. Good morning, Robert. I hope you had 2 cups of coffee so far, if you drink coffee. Uh, Tahsin, yes, it's going great for me. Thank you. I've been super busy, but I will tell you soon what we have been busy about. Um, Arful, how are you, buddy? 9 p.m. Good evening to you. I hope you're drinking something like tea or just water, so you go to sleep soon. Honestly, I can't believe it's Thursday already. Every week, like, come and goes so fast. You wake up, you put your tasks next to you, you work, and you remember to eat, you eat, then you continue, get back to work, and whoa, it's 6:30 p.m. So thank you for those for joining today. I'm kind of late from the schedule I set last week, which is like slightly 1 hour earlier from now. But still, it's going really great. So many exciting things happening. And um, maybe this is a good time to bring our page on LinkedIn. I'm going to post a post. So as a team internally, VR division, we're always expanding and always working on projects. And we have also our partners. We're also expanding and working on projects. And currently we're looking for people who work in VFX. So if you're a Niagara artist, someone who is awesome in creating visual effects inside of Unreal Engine for real-time graphics, um, using the Niagara system, of course. There is a position for that. And we're also looking for vegetation artists. So if you use like vegetation curation tools or you create from scratch, like the vegetation pipeline is very, very big. So if you're someone who create like plants, trees, vegetation, things also like could be realistic from this planet and things that could be metaverse from the future. So we could be like go stylized. So we have like these two positions, and there are also more on the way. There are between. Yeah, I will. They will be here. Yes. Thank you, guys. Today's topic we will continue about. So let me stop. Let me check. Okay. So today we will continue talking about our project that we started last week together. I improved on the mood board I am creating. So just so you know, guys, I always advised using PureRef, which is an amazing tool. I love PureRef, but recently, like what I struggle with PureRef is sharing files. Sometimes I put too many images and the mood board growth uh, get larger in terms of file size, and it's hard to share with others. So recently, not recently, like 6 7 months ago, I started using Figma for prototyping, mood boards, um, mind mapping, many things. And I actually advise switching to Figma in general if you are someone who uses PureRef, or if you use Miro, or any like tools you use like to share your stuff. It's very cool, very easy. Yeah. So yeah, that's the purpose of these streams, guys, to share with you what we are using, what we're learning, what we're working on, and so on, and share it with you, and grow and learn together. So again, thank you for joining. Today we will continue talking about our project and improving on our concept, and talk a little bit perhaps about Midjourney, if you guys interested in that. I'm still learning how to use it more and more. But yeah, I love the art style from Star Trek, not Star Citizen, sorry. There is a, from the last stream I told you I'm going to find an artist for you to follow on ArtStation, and it's this guy, this amazing dude, Chris Doretz. Sorry if I destroyed your name, but he really creates amazing concepts and 3D beautiful stuff. And it's mainly for Star Citizen. And where is it? Yeah, concepts, amazing concepts, like to look at and get inspired from, like especially when it comes to design and design language. Um, yeah, I love looking at good work online to improve how I am attempting to do things in 3D. So I always like find try to find people around like specific vibe I'm trying to model for. And I think Chris and like the team behind Star Citizen did marvelous job in prototyping and creating concepts, and doing deep studies in how the future could be, and we're interacting with in like thousand years. Um, Pretty deep if you watch their videos, devlog videos. So this is the first topic we're going to discuss today, and the challenge comes in the second topic that we're going to discuss first. I know many of you are waiting for the tutorial we announced on last week, that combines how to use the boy archviz explorer with your project, and in our case it's the hillside sample. So we will actually do that today, and after that we're going to see if there are any questions that I can answer or take for the tutorial we're working on, because we are still working on it, but we're just so busy with so many cool projects and cool things happening that I can't talk at the moment, but I will definitely be talking about in future. Yeah, so that's for today. So like, just in case, so you can start learning, I want to give you today actionable steps that you can do after today's live stream, which is definitely practicing archviz explorer. And definitely keep an eye on the upcoming tutorial, and I will take your questions to improve on the tutorial. So that's the thought process. Amil Jar, I'm glad, man. Mukhtar, how are you, buddy? Everything is good? Let me check the quality of the stream and everything before we continue. And just to confirm, guys, you can hear me well. The image in general is nice. All is good, right? How's your day going, Mukhtar? It's almost the weekend, so tomorrow is Friday. So how was your week, I would say? And there is two top chat and live chat. Let me put live chat, so just make sure we're together. All right. Let's do this. And before we get started, I'm just going to put quick reminder. If you have like still 4 weeks from now, if you have the time to build your own metaverse environment, there is a link to this mood board and like the case studies and some other mood boards in other scenarios that you can use. It's on our Discord. And all of that will be sent to you and it will be updated on our course page. So there are links to all of these in the description of the video. This month, we are working on creating a virtual environment that can be used in the Metaverse work frame. And we started with why, like, why do we do this? Who is demanding this? Like, what type of career can you build with this? And then we started with choosing our concept. And today we are in the block out phase. So this month we will start from scratch to finished project. And there is also a challenge going on around that we are hosting with our friends from xSPECTAR. We created about 6 months ago, last year, I don't know, a beautiful gallery together. There is a video here that you can watch some shots from the gallery and it's also on the YouTube channel, but we are creating a challenge together for you guys to create a virtual space, a metaverse space that is interactive, could be more functional of your what you could imagine. But to make it easier, we kind of created this guide and this workshop where we have scenarios and where we have like real world clients in this space that you can follow along to create your project. So if you want to follow along, create something small, nice, beautiful, and also submit your final design for the challenge. That's how you can keep these live streams and these educational videos and everything we do going. So thank you so much, by the way, for everything so far. Yeah. So today we will talk about, for some reason I still have other type of chat. So the archviz explorer, that it's very important for anyone who's working in the archviz space to learn about, and it's like your gateway to other plugins that also exist on the marketplace. So it's kind of a good practice, especially for, like, I would say it's blueprint beginner friendly. You should have few months of knowledge in working with blueprints and learning it in general. It's definitely not the best place for day one from zero, but still, it's not so hard to work with. But the purpose of it, I imagine, is what you can build on top of it. So if you go to the marketplace, and where you can find the archviz explorer, it's in the permanently free collection of Epice, and you can search for it. So if you type archviz explorer, you can find it. If you don't already have it in your account, you can click add to project and you can find it in the library. And once you do that, you're gonna see quote unquote archviz and explorer. You want to create project, select your Unreal Engine version. So right now we have 5.1. There is no 5.2 yet, but if there are any updates in future, you're gonna see future updates. If not, then we are currently at 5.1. You want to change the name here like this, double quotes, because we cannot create an Unreal Engine project or like a folder with these. So this is the folder name and this is the location of the folder. You can do that and you will have your project. And let's open the project. It will take little time to compile the shaders and do all that cool stuff. But before we do that, like before we can like dive into the project, there is the expansion pack if you want the same map that we see in the images. Design, Habibi. Is it good? It's good to see you. How is it going? Design. It's always a pleasure, man. I have what are you busy about these days, Design? What project is making you busy? Please don't tell me my mouse died or my PC. I think yes. Designing and designing. It's inspired from your name. Honestly, I salute you. I'm a big fan of the work you have been doing for the past, I don't know how many years at this point. It's been like, I would say 20 months more. You're doing great. You're doing great. And I love your commitment to challenges and how you always deliver on Punisher challenges. Like you're doing really good job, and it's beautiful what you create in every cinematic. Like it's obvious you're if you look back how you're improving in so many aspects. So keep it up. Just keep designing and design. In the document, in the like store page of archviz Explorer, we will find realistic expansion, and you will also find a very important document. It's called the FAQ, frequently asked questions and documentation. So let's click on realistic expansion, and let's also click here. You will be like referring to this one a lot if you're going to work with the blueprints for the FAQs, the documentation. There are cool videos and cool descriptions of everything. And you also have the expansion packs. So depending on your Unreal Engine project, so 5.1 in this case, you can download it. Right click somewhere here, download somewhere, yeah, or 5 or Unreal 4 for some reason. And again, future versions, you can find all of this information in the store page. I saved that file here. I'm not gonna use it today, or maybe we can open it, no problem. So when you open the zipped file, the rar file, so you need like to have WinRAR or 7-zip or something. Open it, and you're gonna see like content and archviz Explorer and like textures, meshes, materials, maps, and all that good stuff. So we can simply just paste it here outside. All of this is copied here, and if you open the project, we can go to in maps, and this is the main map that you download. So if you download the project and open it for the first time without downloading the expansion pack, these will not be here. They will not exist. You will see only demonstration one, and that's what we'll be using. That's what usually you just want to migrate from a project to project. But if you want to migrate any demonstration 2 or realistic, you can do that. So let's open realistic. I think that's like the big map. Post it, design. Is it on Discord? Wow, get out of here. Amazing. Just want to lower the music a little. I actually need to maybe mute it. I'm not sure about the music stuff on YouTube. That is dope. Good job, buddy. What tools are you using to create this? Um, I remember you use Blender for everything, correct? Or no, it was 3D Max. What do you use? As like, I'm impressed. I know the tool that doesn't matter, but for anyone curious, including me, um, this is nice. I just want to see the finished version. How long this took you in general as well, if you don't mind sharing? 3ds Max, Substance Painter, ZBrush, and Piri Unreal Engine. Nice. Beautiful standards. So it's mainly poly modeling everything. These are nice here. Look at that. Nice. This looks like a scene from a death metal video clip or something. It's beautiful. Wow. I'm speechless. And it's so nice what you can get away with. I just like noticed the... It's amazing. Good job, man. Keep it up. The scene has a lot of kit bash, to be honest. The tray station. That's a good approach. That's definitely a good approach. I imagine like manually doing things here would be painful. I'm interested. I'm seeing like now demos about PCG, the procedural content generation tools, and I'm interested in seeing where the community will take this, how people will be using the Unreal Engine procedural tools to create worlds faster, especially these type of environments. And like you block out and then you like take it, refine it, send it back, replace it with meshes. Wow. You need to install 5.2. Yes, it definitely worth checking and installing and even starting things in production. I personally noticed like Lumen and Nanite improvements, which is always good and welcome. And the UI now changed a little in the movie render queue. I don't know where else, but like I think the user experience in general, like it's being refined now more. I think with this feature, like it's kind of feels foundational or something for like all these new tools we got. So we expect, I imagine, the future releases. I really wish for more Lumen improvements, especially on the performance. Um, Especially on the performance. Like I really want 60, 70 frames per second interiors with like so many lights or whatever. I don't want to sound demanding, but that's like the way in archviz projects. To create like still like for performance, if you want performance, bait lighting is definitely the way, but it it limits the interactivity, emergentness. Anyway, continuing back what we started today. So this is the realistic landscape. What about materials? It's very different to set up or the same in Unreal 5.2. It is the same. We're still like, you still use the same material graph and the PPR material editor. And I think in straight, you just substrate the new materials if you enable these or you want to experiment with them. It's just new nodes that we need to learn in order to create them. So it is still the same, in my opinion. So when you open archviz Explorer, initially, this is what you will see. And if you download the realistic pack, the expansion pack, you can see the demonstration and the realistic maps. These are additional. You want to unzip your content in the content folder when you download it. And it's what we see in the screenshots, which is very nice exterior area. That looks like this. I really love this. I am definitely going to try Cesium in an upcoming stream, but if you wonder about creating similar environments in their documentation, they talk about their favorite tools they use, and I recommend these tools actually. So learning about the workflow, let's go real quick if you want to be like fully aware about what it is to get started in creating beautiful interactive architectural visualizations of your projects. So we go to the documentation in this case. So it takes reading so many documentations of so many things. Surprise. And in the FAQ here, I think, yep. So Terraform, Gaia, Work Creator, these tools are all good. We have Cesium for Unreal. This is, I really would recommend nowadays, especially with the Google map tiles or 3D map tiles, something update that allows you to import buildings in and like the landscape or what you see in Google Earth in your project. So you can use OpenStreetMap. You can go like the procedural way with something like Houdini and the Matrix city. There are a billion ways, but I would start simple if I'm new and maybe just stick to just good old poly modeling as you see in the context here, like the other map, these type of buildings. So for this little example, we're gonna use how we can get started with using the archviz Explorer. I will use the hillside sample that you can find in the samples tab. This has been added recently, and this is beautiful, beautiful piece of content that is made by Epice, Safidi Architects, and Neoscape that you can download and learn from, reverse engineer, and use the things I think like the vegetation. It's okay to use in your projects. This is mainly for like educational purposes to learn from, so you cannot use this building in your projects. Just be careful around like using property. So here for education, we use only content licensed for education purposes, including self-education and use in academic settings. So I imagine anything that is copyrighted, like the building here and whatnot, you can't use, but stuff like the grass, the shrubs, the trees, the seatings, the furniture, the lighting, all this you can use. And if you want to definitely confirm about this, you can read the documentation. They have like, they actually like, it is somewhere there. And within the learning portal of Epic, they show you how you migrate asset from this sample project. So all projects that comes from Epic Games that are free, that these projects you can use only inside your Unreal Engine projects. You should not export this outside to place like 3D Max or Blender or Maya or Unity or Godot or any game engine and so on. That's something to be aware of when it comes to the free content from Epic if you're building something with commercial use of Unreal Engine. For personal stuff, I think you can do whatever you want. No one is gonna stop you. So our project is somewhere here. It's hillside sample. Once you download that and create a new project, it's about like 60 gigs. It's a little large. Iceland Ghost, Stephanie, how are you? How is your evening or morning or afternoon going? Hope it's going good. All right, let's assume hillside sample is your project that you want to implement archviz explorer with, or you may have your own personal project from like the Epic Games launcher, or you just create a new project with like the third person view. It would be like good practice to use archviz explorer in a new project, not the same project, just so you know how to use the content of it and how to migrate stuff, and like just so you know to keep things up or keep up things. Yeah. So to do that, when you open your archviz explorer project, you right click your demonstration map so that you find in maps folder in the archviz explorer, and you go to asset actions and click on migrate. And then you just keep things as they are, click OK, and find your project and go to the content folder. In our case, we want the hillside. We want the content folder. So we open our here and we click select folder, and this will copy things to this folder. And if you've already have copied things before or whatever, it will ask you if you want to override anything. In this case, I'm going to click no, don't override anything. And once it finishes, it finishes. This will copy all the files that you need in order to make archviz explorer as you see it in this map works. So when you open your project, your other project, and you press Ctrl space, you're gonna see archviz explorer, blueprints, environment, fonts, maps, materials, meshes, movies, textures, and so on. And if you go to maps, you're gonna see the same map we had before, which is called demonstration. Now, if this was a new map, like I had this before because I'm recording the new YouTube tutorial, everything usually would look fine, except for when you press play. Actually, maybe I should override. Let's do it. Let's override. It's better. I know it's not gonna override everything, but it can override some stuff. Yes. Design, sorry, I just saw your message, by the way. Yeah, for me, it doesn't have to be real time. Don't care much about frame rate since I always do rendered animations. I think substrate materials will look amazing in in both real-time and rendered animations. What you want also to export, but you want to start. Let's talk about it in a second after this finishes. I thought it will take much less time, but oops. So, where are you guys watching from today? This is the usual question. Love to know where you guys are watching from at this moment, right now. Robert from Florida. Nice. Still beautiful start of the day. Nice morning. I hope you had good sleep. This is why I love the internet. You talk to people everywhere. You are watching from your chair. M design. Nice. I am streaming standing up. My chair is here, but it's not so fun to be seated all time. Yes. Robert, it's always sunny, nice. It's better to have a laptop or desktop for UE. Is it better to have a laptop or desktop for UE and Blender? Um, I recommend. So I had a laptop, but it's really hard for me and my sort of projects, I guess, to handle on a laptop, and it was like pretty powerful laptop as well. But our projects are like even more powerful, especially when it comes to rendering and whatnot. So when you want to render animations, when you want to push it like to extreme limits, you always need like to find the power source as well. So that's in a way make you stationary, but still it's good to go outside. I think slowly but surely, like pixel streaming will replace presenting projects from taking your laptop or powerful and very expensive laptop outside to be able to do that, to like just do it with pixel streaming. However, um, it really depends on your scenario and situation. So if you move out a lot or you travel a lot or something, then maybe a laptop, but you want to keep in mind the type of projects you work on maybe could be limited. Um, Ideally, like I would always invest in a desktop. I prefer to like be stationary and like do all the things that are important and on the long like building a basis. So a desktop is ideal. And in addition to a desktop, and something like an iPad or a tablet to go outside, to read a document, to read a book, which is like you can. I know you can bring a book, but like to do something like on you look at your mood board on Figma, like these type of things that maybe takes less Blender and Unreal work, but more of the brainstorming and preparation or planning or mid planning of or delivery of a project. That I find that like many of these things when it comes to producing projects, tablet works perfectly. um, if you use the right note-taking apps or like project manager or sheet. um, so I usually prefer a desktop, and having something like a tablet. But again, it depends on your on many factors. I personally, from nowadays, if I want to travel or go somewhere, I don't think I want to take my laptop. I don't even want to take the tablet, but I might just take the tablet to get work done. But there are tools like Parsak. Parsak is amazing in in um in switching between like in remote control. It's way much better than like TeamViewer or any other applications. Uh, I know this is a long answer, but that's my full take on it, um, Robert. So, what would you prefer? That is the question. So, guys, I'm going to click cancel. This is taking so long, and I'm gonna like see what's gonna happen or not. But starting with the most important things is thank you too, Robert. Starting with the most important thing and final thing, maybe you want to export from here. When you go to edit, project settings, you go to engine and you go to input, you go here, you find something called bindings, and here you find export and import. So from here, from the Unreal Engine project of the original downloaded archviz Explorer, I'm just like so impressed with these reflections. This is the first time I see them, but like this is the only you see in Lumen. So I was like, wow. The key bindings, you want to click on export, save them somewhere, and in your other Unreal Engine project, which is in this case Hillside Sample, you can see it on top. You want to go to project settings, engine, and input, and usually you would not have any of these, but I already did that before. But what you need to do is to click import, select that file you exported, and click open, and it will add these key bindings for you. However, keep in mind that this way to add these key bindings is deprecated, as it says here, like the axis and action mappings now are deprecated. Please use enhance input and input mapping. Sorry, please use enhanced input actions and enhanced input mapping context instead. And I'm not gonna talk about it today, but we can definitely talk about it in a tutorial or another stream if you guys want. But put it simply, we are always have been taught to use, like on the old YouTube tutorials, maybe you're just getting started. For some reason, you start like someone or like any tutorial at this point, I don't know. We put here our action mappings and we put like W, move forward W. And the scale is 1, so it's like moving 1. And S, that usually makes you move backward, but here look at the scale, it's like -2. So these type of actions, you will find them, all of these, like turn rate, move forward, move rate, look up rate, and so on. If you open the player controller class, I hope so. Let's take a quick look. I keep getting confused. Game instance? No, definitely not. What about the pawn? I think it's the pawn. So rotation, here look, input axis, turn rate. You can see branch, condition, and so on, whatever blueprints. So you need little basic knowledge of blueprints. If you want to pan the mouse, like mouse Y, and that's like the middle mouse button, mouse hold, condition, so it would like pan. That's how blueprints works from left to right. And the more you use blueprints, the more you get familiar with like all these, and patterns, you start to see patterns, the more blueprints you see in general, and you're gonna, of course, as you're watching tutorials and reading documentation, or minimum like hovering mouse and reading what this blueprint is about. This is especially important if you want to dive deep into the building on top of this or customizing such a project to your own custom case studies. So all of these action mappings, like move up, you're gonna see like move forward or left mouse and so on here. And these now, I think in few Unreal releases, couple of like 5.0, 5.1, input action. So here we have something called input, and here we have input action, input mapping context, and these other actors. So input action, if we give it a name, and these names can be like this left mouse button, let's say, or it could be the other actor, but just in case. If you open it, here we have like kind of the same settings we had earlier. So you add a trigger, hold down. It's kind of improved user experience also on how you create or create your inputs. And instead of like migrating that file between projects, you will be migrating these files instead, and that's way much more modular in for your controls. It will be so much easier to export your project with their custom controls between projects using these methods. So we also have the input mapping context. Take a quick look, mappings. So this is the mapping context we will be using. From here you can select gamepad, keyboard, mouse, motion, and so on. So we want to repeat the same as we've seen in the other project. If we go, actually no need to go to the other project. However, we can open project settings. Let's put them here. And here we're gonna go to input, and let's say you wanna name this file the new input mapping context. You want to call it move right, for example, and then you want to add the similar to 3D's inputs like two keyboard and the gamepad left thumbstick, x-axis and y-axis and so on, these guys. So you do this from here. So now, for example, keyboard, what is the key we want to put? In this case, it's D, let's say. You can also search, like you can type keyboard D, and you do that search. No. D, T, D. Keyboard. And so key value, the modifiers, I don't know. I need to look it up exactly, but that's why I mentioned we're gonna do it in another tutorial. But this is, you need to do this, like you need to remap all your keys. And at some point not keep using the engine input as it is here now, because it's deprecated, and maybe in 5.3 or 5.4 this will disappear completely. And usually this what happens, by the way. So with every like major release, some deprecated features might go away, and yeah, just keep that in mind. There are like new alternatives. So that's all about inputs and mappings. I know it was a lot. So to start using ArchViz Explorer in your project, so after we took all of these, the inputs and all that good stuff. So let me delete these because I don't want them. Give me a second. All right. I have to look at my phone sometimes, work messages. When you open Hillside project for the first time, you will not see this or this. This is the folder we imported from archviz Explorer, and this is my stuff. So in your case, you want to open your map, your level that you want to use archviz Explorer at. So let's open this map in this case. So let me do this. Should I make a duplicate? Let's keep them. I'm gonna keep like talking about all this stuff. So under settings, you want to go to the word settings, and you want to set your game mode override from, usually it's none, to Blueprint Explorer game mode, or BB underscore Explorer underscore game mode. And this will set usually it's like also like this. So you find this under word settings again, game mode. It's the first menu. And it will switch these for you. So here we have BP underscore Explorer pawn. We have the Explorer BC and so on. And some of these are none because they don't matter in this, or maybe the developer just they didn't utilize what features we have here. So you want to set this, and when you do, nothing is really going to happen because you want to add a couple of actors to your level. And if you go to archviz Explorer, you go to blueprints, you want to add the blueprint underscore Explorer underscore pawn. If you click and drag this, so I have one already, so I'm not going to click and drag this. This is the Explorer pawn. And let's click on it. Let's collapse these. As for the sun, if you don't have any lighting, and let's assume it would be, if you want to, I'm gonna talk about it in a second, but you're gonna see a slider here on top. So if you want the lighting slider, you want to add the blueprint underscore AVE sun sky, which is what I have now. And these are like the initial setup, right? I assume you still don't want to add point of interest, but what you will be adding so much from is these two actors. You will be adding so much be at the point of interest, POI, blueprint underscore POI. So you will add this actor around, and this actor have a camera and information struct to add name information, images, icons, whether this is a 3D, 360 image, panorama, and so on. So this is, I would say, the main thing you want to familiarize yourself with. So that's your homework, actually, is just to get yourself familiarized with the point of interest actor and see what you can do with it. The other actor you could be using a lot, especially if you're working with like exterior project with like streets, is path. So right now, routes, sorry, so PP underscore route, you add this, press F to focus, press G to select the other point, and just click and drag, hold Alt to add more points. Select the point, keep doing that. So you can identify this with the blueprint starter. Sorry, I clicked something, I don't know what is it. Ah, it's the caps lock. Thank you. So if you click play, after you've added all of these and imported the controls and everything, you added the game mode and the explorer pawn. This is what you will see. So based on the explorer pawn, the location of the explorer pawn we've added, which is, can I open this guy? The center of it, like the 0, 0 point, will be the center also of your project, of where it starts. And since I've added the sun and sky, you can see I have this enabled. If you don't add the sun and sky actor provided to you by the archviz explorer kit, which is again the blueprint AVE sun sky, you will not see this here. It will disappear. So it will check for whether it exists or not. So when you add this to a new project, you're gonna see like the same stuff here. You're not gonna see lighting scenarios because this is the button I've added and it does nothing. But you're gonna see like gallery, and I think this was called surroundings, but I called it cameras. So I imagine like maybe a project like this, I want to create multiple cameras. So I can later change the namings here. So I added this camera, for example, with the POI. I added this camera here, so it makes like cool transition. I removed this down for some reason, and here we are. So we can fix it. So before we continue, let me show you what this is. So the POI, the same actor, you can add, you can do so much with it. And one of these like things, I was like trying to scale it. Of course, you can change the mesh if you want from the geometry here to create maybe like simple block out of whatever shape you're using, you want this effect on. But how this works, once you add like the little controls you add and so on, it will like show the building. And you can hide or unhide these based on like, again, where are they placed in the categories. So these little boxes are also the same as that one, but these are not scaled. So that box is scaled. We can hide these, disable 3D something. Here, because of the lighting, give it a few seconds to fix the exposure. But you can also change the location of where these starts when you click here, when you click here, and when you click on their actors. You click here, you click here. So I will leave a link to the documentation in the chat here, so it's always here. But this is important. Did I send it? Yes. Working with this is not very hard. Like now you set up your project correctly. If you test your project, click play, and as you've noticed, like we can control the camera, we can zoom in, zoom out. Now it's a matter of modifying the plugin. Of course, I'm not sure if you saw it, but there is like little warning error, and there is also like section view. These, I'm gonna call them more advanced features that we will be discussing in the video tutorial. So clicking on the first point, searching for pawn, I'm going to press G and look at the transform. So this is the location of this actor. And as you can see, we have this red line and we have a camera, and now it makes sense. So whenever we place this will rotate around. And if you click on spring arm, so the target arm length, so look what I did. Maybe this is for you is like this. By the way, just be careful. If it's like closed like this, the menu here can extend like this. So the spring arm, if you click on it, so usually this is what we have, or this depends. You can select the spring arm. I said this a billion times, I'm sorry. Select the arm length, and this is the default value. It's much more closer, as you can see, for like small scale projects. And yeah, you can change this. So you can click and drag, and hey, I want you very far. Maybe I want you here instead. So click play. And we start from here. And look, when I zoomed in like this, it immediately clipped the camera here, and I can't zoom out anymore. So I can zoom in. This is the most I can zoom as much as possible, like to this area, to this point. And if I zoom out like this is the furthest point I can go to. And that can be changed from the settings. Here, zoom. So here you will have like this here. So rotation, this I would play with this, see what happens if you want to invert control or something. But for the zoom, you have the spring arm length, the minimum and the maximum. So you may want to decrease or increase this. And the same for the pan speed. So this pan speed, as you can see, is not a curve. It's it's not a value that we can input like this. It's a curve. So let me show you something. I'm going to click on play. Actually, there is something I fixed here in the project that we should show you in the other project. So the user menu, I just remembered. I knew I forgot something. Anyway, it's important, but it's like not a disaster if it's like came later. By the way, look at this. Let's take a moment to say wow. This is really cool. So I'm going to hold my right mouse button or middle mouse, I think right, to pan, but it's kind of not even possible. And let's see if we can fix that. This becomes, I think, especially when you have a project like this where it's like so far the camera. So first of all, let's bring this down a little. So that's one. And the intensity curve, if you open this actor, or sorry, this file, you're gonna see we have a curve and we have a value of 0 to 0, and we have 1 time to 1. So if you click on this, and if you decide that you want to, let's see now, maybe with the default value without increasing this 1 to something else, and then we can increase it like to 10 or to 50 just for testing purposes. Yeah, for some reason, panning is not working. But maybe it works after we change camera position like this. This is rotation, in my opinion. Okay, did I close the other project? I did. But for some reason, I think panning is right click or middle mouse button, try it on your end. If you want to increase its intensity, you want to change that actor. So you can find these under blueprint, curves, intensity curve, you want maybe to right click this actor, sorry, this point. Okay, just click on it here, and under the value here, click on 10 or 5 or whatever you prefer. So I'm going to press on F to focus my selection. And now the value here is 10. This will make dramatic difference in the panning animation. For the point of interest, so before we continue point of interest, actually, let me open the main project again. And talk about the user interface when you open it for the first time. So you may have noticed when I click here, when I click on play, I don't see the notification menu and I don't see an ad as well. I immediately get into this, and also like it takes longer to load the, not longer, the white on your end takes like 1 second. For me, I made it like 3 seconds, and that all can be done from the user interface. So here if we click play, we get the archviz explorer notification, and we get the wagon streams advertisements. So we also get rid of that. So every time you hit play, you will see this, and that will become annoying during the development phase of your project. So if you press Ctrl space, go to blueprint, and if you go to widgets, let's go to the widget called BP underscore master menu widget. If you click here, we're gonna see the archviz explorer notification. It's called BP underscore notification. And if you press Ctrl space, you're gonna see it here. So we have the BP underscore notification widget. This you can, what you see at the start, you can edit it to your liking, you can keep it, you can do whatever you prefer, or you can simply hide all of this if you want. But I think it makes a great example on how you can learn how to make nice main menu like this, or user menus, and reverse engineer. So this is definitely something I would check out. And I'm curious, guys, how's your level in general, like all of you guys, with the Unreal Motion graphics and the UMG editor? How do you feel about it? So the same for the advertisement, it's somewhere here. So these two, if we open the widget here, you can find them here. So you can hide it if you prefer, but it will appear again. So we should not do it from here. You can either delete it if you prefer, or you can go to the graph, and you want, when you open the graph for the first time, you're gonna see like everything that has to do with the buttons on our menu and so on. So on event construct, when it, like this delay here is the fade out from black, you can set to whatever duration you prefer, so on. There is also an animation actually that you can also change, animation curve. Anyway, there is a sequence that happens that opens the notification and opens the stream, the advertisement. So you can simply hold Alt, click here, and now if you compile and click on play, you are in the game without the notification and the ad. What is interesting for you, like I'm going to stop talking about the archviz explorer in this stream here, and we're gonna like this should be enough for now. Definitely we are working on the video, and in the video we go through in more depth through all the settings, but still that would be your homework as well. In all cases, I want you, whether from now or the video, you to go through these settings. Now the other actor I want to go through, so there are two actors you want to go through their settings. It's the explorer pawn. You're gonna see this zoom, pan, idle. So if you leave the animation with nothing after 15 seconds, you're gonna see like it's gonna start moving left and right. There are so many cool things to explore in this plugin, as in this kit, in these blueprints. And like this is one of the main actors you're gonna work with. And there is the point of interest. So POI, if you click and drag, you're gonna see it here, POI 10, and I'm gonna compare. So this is a new POI, okay? I'm going to compare it with like one of the others we have here, just for quick comparisons. You can see it has a name and what type of it is, it's information, if there is footer, and I don't know if I can show it. So let's see. Maybe we can show it. It's the main menu, basically. Like all of this is very cool. If you leave things empty, they will not appear in the design. If you put things in terms of like information, they will appear. So information box, for example, this is this here. If you add something here in the footer, you will see like something in the footer. So I don't know if I have an example. Yeah, I just named it footer, right? And I added an image on this image here. So that's how you do it. If you have 360 texture, this will be like 360 little experience, but I really don't recommend it, which is it will be using the 360 sphere. I don't think it's good, or it's like worth now in Unreal Engine 5. For UE4, yeah, maybe. For big project developments, maybe. But to show you what that is real quick, if you go like in gallery, you give it a second or two, and usually it loads 360 image, but let's say that didn't happen, so it's okay. Where is the POI filter we've added? Yeah, so let's click one of these rooms. One thing that is important on any of these point of interests is if you're gonna find it first in the documentation. So let's look at it here. Let me point you to that. So there are something called tags. There is a category and a subcategory with this, how this plugin is made. And you want to define one or two. And these are predefined categories. I don't think it's very easy to change them. There are ways, of course, where you can change them. It needs a deeper dive. But like, let's say the standards, if you write in these images here, like transportation or surroundings, and the tags, your point of interests will appear in these categories in the user interface when you click on play. And these tags can be found here. So they kind of confused me first. Under actor, so if you go all the way down, under actor, under advanced, here you can see tags. Usually it's set to 0 array elements. There is nothing, so you can add elements here, and you can add like this is amenities and this is transportation 02 and so on. So any actor you click on, any point of interest you click on, you're gonna see these tags at the end. Unless it's a filter, that could be something else. I think these are filters. Yeah, this is a filter. Filter is another topic. Definitely, it uses Excel. So in this case here, let's take a look. take a look at this building, and right now I added these test tags like transportation, surroundings, and in this point of interest I give it a name, building tree. So let's call it like pink building. Give it information is important. That's not a good grammar. Info, image, and so on. If you want to change the icon, the pack comes with icons. And yeah, when you click play, as you can see, I'm just click and drag and do this. And you can now add more information to this point of interest. And the same, if you want like camera further away, you can click the spring arm and increase the length and so on. So yeah, stay tuned for the tutorial. There are so many things to cover, but there is so much work and so many things happening right now. It's kind of hard to keep balance, but I didn't want to keep you guys waiting. I thought we go today live and switch topics a little bit. And with the time we have, I will show you where I am at now and what are my next steps with my mood board for next week. Sometimes during the week I'm going live and I'm sharing my process in 3D modeling, but when I'm not going, I'm recording things. And at the end of the workshop, we will be updating our workshop page on the Academy. So you will find this link in the description and join us. We are doing week after week pool environments. So I will stop talking about archivz Explorer at this point. I see if you guys have any questions about this, and let's talk about the Metaverse environment I'm working on. And tomorrow, around the same time as today, we will be on Discord for discussions as well. So you can share your screen, your progress, and all that cool stuff. Is this a good time to make a request for a tutorial about something I can't find any information about at all? It's always a good time to make a request. The problem is in finding time to make that request happen. However, what's up, Helmi? Um, if you can, like for me, when you guys ask questions during these streams, I do my very best to answer them in the streams. As for making tutorials, it's taking so long to make videos in general. You know the drill. So that's why like I stream much more than I make tutorials. So Abby, Helmi, if I can't answer your question now, maybe in next stream I will do that. So usually sometimes that's like the process. So yeah, we do my best to leave no questions unanswered. So you're trying to figure out how to do carpeted flooring and you can't find anything about it. Carpeted flooring. What tools do you use? And yeah, this can be accomplished in many ways, but it's definitely the shaders you're gonna make. And how you divide your meshes and whatnot. It's like you have an office environment or something, right? So you want perhaps like mesh on top of your mesh with nice mapping and UVs and maybe vertex painting abilities. And you can create a couple of nice carpet textures and assign these textures on top of it and maybe do vertex painting on some parts if needed, but you try to use cell bombing to avoid texture tiling. I think that's very important. Like texture tiling when it comes to such large surfaces is pain. I hope this helps a little, Helmi. And like you need to find a good texture. That's the most important aspect. Without a good texture, I think it's gonna be hard to achieve this. So guys, that's all for archviz explorer stuff. Keep an eye on the video, and if you have any questions for it today, we'll definitely talk more. Oh, look at that, your boy M Design. Nice, dude. This is beautiful. I love the atmosphere. You're killing it. You are killing it. Thank you, Helmi. I'm glad. I hope you solve it. I hope you make good progress with this stuff. So, I'm arrived to this point. I have made some sketches or some ideas that I have on Figma. So, to tell you a little bit about what I will be doing next for those who are following along, I am looking to change the type of beams that are holding the masses, and also there were like some sort of entrance or something from outside. This was supposed to be, let me see if I can find it. There are some cool drawings. Maybe you can try to do it. uh Initially this was supposed to be set like on a map, like on a floor like this. So this is your boy Abdul Wahab from our team, amazing artist. We were working on this architecturally, and we decided we're gonna make it a building that's uh, rotating. And yeah, as like we went with the project and so on, like this is a fun project ultimately, right? We figured, okay, the scale is massive, and that's my fault. Like going for massive scales. I love big projects, so I'm trying to dial it down a little bit on the scale and see how I'm going to use the space more effectively as a practice together, and see what we can learn. So yeah, these concepts on how things could be, how they could look, what could we have, so on. Abdul Wahab, amazing. I need to find his Behance. For anyone following Abdul Wahab, I can't find it. I will make the art available also on our this art we just saw, guys. If you want to download higher quality images that are not on Instagram somewhere, I lost them. We will update the training program with some concepts in addition to the things I have on Figma. So yeah, if you want to model something similar to what we've seen, if you want to model something similar to the pictures I'm collecting as art, go ahead. um, I hope you found today's stream nice. I hope you found it fun and you learned something useful. I'm gonna wrap up here today, and I'll be working offline of the scenes on more like structural things outside and the pillars, and see if I want to make this smaller or bigger, but add some furniture in general around, see what can be here. I'm thinking of whether if I want to add like something that's large, far away from the ground or something, and surround yourself with skyscrapers or something. So that's what I was debating with today, and make this like a bigger space. So make it like get rid of this or something. I will see. So yeah, that's all. Tomorrow, join us on Discord. We will be there, hang out, view your designs if you're working on anything for the Metaverse challenge or the Metaverse workshop. I hope you found the stream again fun. If there is anything, leave a comment. Any questions you want me to cover in future streams. And I will see you guys very soon. Wish you all a wonderful day. And again, all the links I mentioned are in the description. So to sign up to the challenge, if you didn't sign up already, like this is the final point. When you open the page here, also the link to that forum is in the description. But from here, if you also sign up, we will send you all the information you need about the challenge. All you need to do is just to worry about designing something and following along with us. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. And let's meet next week on YouTube. Or earlier, maybe, who knows? Have a beautiful day, all of you, and productive rest of the day if it's still morning for you, and great evening if it's evening. Bye bye.